Well, SBC Kids, it is great to see you this morning. I have been looking forward to this day all week. I love it when we get to be together and learn more about God. I hope you've had a really good week too. I know a lot of you have been back at school for the first time in ages. I can't wait to hear all about that and how life is hopefully getting a bit more back to normal for you all. Well, today we're on our second week of our new topic, Focus, learning all about faith. And today we are learning more about how when we know Jesus, it changes how we see everything. So let's take a look at the video and I'll talk to you more on the other end. Don't forget to get up and dance. This one is one of my absolute favorites.
Darkness run and hide, you bring the broken back to life. Only you can, only you can. You set me free from every chain, you fill my heart with songs of praise. Only you can, only you can. Jesus, you're the only reason that I'm even breathing. I am wide awake. My heart beats only for your glory. My hands reach up for you to hold me. My soul sings, Father, you are holy. My feet dance to your rhythm, to your rhythm. Every beat is calling out your name. You left the glory of your throne to bring this runaway back home. Only you can, only you can. You give me love, you give me life, you keep me dancing through the night. Only you can, only you can. My heart beats only for your glory. My hands reach up for you to hold me. My soul sings, Father, you are holy. My feet dance to your rhythm, to your rhythm. Every beat is calling out your name. Every beat is calling out your name. Jesus, you're the only reason that I'm even breathing. I am wide awake. You move me, your freedom is consuming. I feel you rushing through me. I'll never be the same. My heart beats only for your glory. My hands reach up for you to hold me. My soul sings, Father, you are holy. My feet dance to your rhythm, to your rhythm. Every beat is calling out your name. Ooh, every beat is calling out your name. Every beat is calling out your name.
Hey everybody, I'm Erica, and welcome to my Summer STEAM Lab! Today, I'm challenging myself to some optical illusions. Dizzy yet? And you know what these tricky little eye puzzles require? A whole lot of faith! Faith is trusting in what you can't see because of what you can see. So, let's give it a go! Whoa! That is Wanna see? Does it look like the circles are moving? But they aren't! It's a still photo! The way the gray and the black and the white are used makes it look like it's moving. Crazy, right? Do I look like I'm moving? Now, this one is easy. Okay, which of these objects is bigger than the other? Object A. Duh! All right. Wait. Object A. Right? Wait a second. They're the same size. I'm so shocked right now. Okay, sometimes what we think we see is not what's real. And when we discover the truth, it can be shocking. Today's story is all about a guy named Saul who thought he knew it was true, but he was in for a big shock. Let's check it out.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now for an amazing story, inspired by the book of Acts, chapter 9, verses 1 through 9.
If anyone was set up for the good life, it was Saul of Tarsus.
Greetings.
Though Saul's family was Jewish, he was also born a Roman citizen. Throughout his life, he was known by 2 different names.
You may call me Saul or Paul.
As a young man, Saul was sent to Jerusalem to study with the famous Rabbi Gamaliel.
Let's see. You have achieved 100% in classical literature, 111% in philosophy, and in ethics, 99%.
Oh, I vow to do better.
Saul became a Pharisee like his father before him. He carefully studied God's law and prayed 3 times a day.
Dear God, help me follow your laws 100% perfectly.
Like the other religious leaders in Jerusalem, though, Saul was caught off guard by the events that surrounded the life and death of Jesus.
Good riddance. Now that fool can't try to overturn God's laws anymore.
Haven't you heard? Jesus' follower says he's returned to life.
They've seen Jesus?
They've seen Jesus.
Those riffraff will slink away soon enough.
Against all odds, the followers of Jesus didn't fade away. In fact, the numbers began to grow.
5,000? You're telling me that 5,000 people are following the way of a dead man?
Well, technically, they think he's alive.
Not helping.
The religious leaders in Jerusalem did everything they could to squash the new movement. They even arrested a leader among the Jesus followers named Stephen. After telling lies about him, they dragged him outside the city.
This man is a disgrace.
Saul stood by and held the coats of the men, who picked up stones and threw them at Stephen, until they killed him.
If Stephen had just let go of this Jesus nonsense, he wouldn't have had to die.
It's terrible. I heard people are following the way of Jesus in other cities too.
What? Inconceivable.
Saul quickly became known for hunting down people who believed in Jesus. When he discovered that some Jews in Damascus were following Jesus, he went straight to the high priest.
This Jesus thing is spreading everywhere.
I'm aware.
They think he's alive.
#yup.
Someone should do something.
I hope you have something constructive to say.
Give me letters to the synagogues in Damascus so I can arrest all the believers and bring them back here.
Now you're talking.
Saul set off for Damascus with the blessing of the high priest. He traveled with a group of men to arrest the believers they found. After days on the road, they neared the city.
There it is.
We'll make it by lunch.
No, we must take time to pray.
As he did 3 times every day, Saul stopped and turned to Jerusalem to pray, certain God was on his side.
Dear Lord, help me to catch every single one of those despicable Jesus people.
Suddenly, a light more brilliant than the midday sun blazed down around Saul. He staggered, fell to the ground, squeezing his eyes shut against the glare.
Saul, Saul, why are you opposing me?
Saul gasped. It felt as though the whole earth shifted beneath him.
Who are you, Lord? I am Jesus. I am the one you are opposing.
The men around Saul stared in horror and confusion, unable to speak. They could see no one, but heard a sound, perhaps like a roar of thunder.
Now get up and go into the city. There you will be told what you must do.
Saul reeled. He struggled to his feet and finally opened his eyes. He saw nothing, only darkness.
What's happened?
You tell us. We saw the light, and you fell, and this sound, and then you said...
I can't see.
What?
I can't see. I've been blinded.
That's not good. Here, take my hand.
Saul grasped the man's hand and shuffled a few steps forward.
Who are you talking to?
I think it was Jesus.
You heard Jesus?
I heard Jesus.
Saul's companions led him into Damascus, where he stayed at the home of a man named Judas on Straight Street.
Want something to eat?
I'm not hungry.
Or water?
Not thirsty.
For 3 days, Saul wrestled with himself and God. He'd come face to face with the very man he knew was dead, but discovered that Jesus was very much alive. Now blind, Saul was forced to see everything in a brand new light.
Okay, there's supposedly a picture of a dinosaur hidden in this image. Focus. Okay, I'll just have to have faith that there's a dinosaur in this picture because I do not see it. Speaking of, Saul literally couldn't see after his encounter with Jesus, but in a way, he could see better than he ever had before. Anyway, Saul saw everything. And Jesus made a way for everybody to be saved from their sins. After Jesus went back to heaven, he gave his followers the Holy Spirit. And then many more people believed in Jesus too. Saul wanted to stop the Jesus followers, and he really tried. But Jesus wanted Saul to know a better way. You know, it's amazing how God has revealed himself to people all throughout history. Saul, who is also known as Paul, so Saul and Paul are actually Saul Paul, was no exception, and neither are you. Just like God opened Saul's eyes to see the truth, he can open our eyes too. He may not appear to you in a bright light, but God can get your attention in all kinds of ways, like through nature. Or a conversation with a friend. That's really good. I like that. You're so wise. A song on the radio. God can even use your own circumstances to help you know him. And when you focus in and really see Jesus for who he is, the Savior of the world, it can change how you see everything. So that's the one thing to remember today. Knowing Jesus changes the way you see everything. It's like Jesus gives us brand new glasses to see out of. I can't really see out of these ones, but it's a different way to see. So that's exciting. Oh, perfect. Well, that's all I got for this week. Oh, perfect. These coffee beans want to wave goodbye to you. Bye.
This is my faith, this is my focus, all of my days. I know where my hope is, I'll live it loud, I'll shout the chorus, because I know Oh, you're always for us. And even when it's hard for me to see, I will trust in you, I will believe. And even when it's hard for me to see, I will trust in you, I will believe. And keep on looking to you for where I'm going, knowing you go there too. I'll keep on looking to you. I'll fix my eyes on you. You are my only focus. You are my only focus. You are my only focus. I fix my eyes on you. This is my faith. This is my focus. All of my days, I know where my hope is. I'll live it loud. I'll shout the chorus because I know, oh, you're always for us. And even when it's hard for me to see, I will trust in you, I will believe. And even when it's hard for me to see, I will trust in you, I will believe. And keep on looking to you for where I'm going, knowing you go there too. I'll keep on looking to you. I'll fix my eyes on you. You are my only focus. You are my only focus. You are my only focus. I fix my eyes on you, oh yeah. Woo! You ready? Come on, let's go. Hands in the air, I know you're there, anywhere, oh. I fix my eyes on you. Hands in the air, I know you're there, anywhere, I fix my eyes on you. And keep on looking to you for where I'm going, knowing you go there too. I'll keep on looking to you. I'll fix my eyes on you. You are my only, you are my only focus. You are my only focus. I fix my eyes on you.
Well guys, I hope you learned a lot in that story. I'm really looking forward to hearing the next part of the story about when Saul turns into Paul. There's a little spoiler for you. Guys, isn't it amazing that when we know Jesus, when we know God and He's our friend, how it just changes how we see everything. I was driving along today from my house into town and looking across at beautiful water and reflections, and it was just a beautiful day, and taking in that nature, I could really appreciate its beauty. And if I didn't know God, I can say, wow, that is really beautiful. But because I know Jesus, I see it and I think, wow, God, you made that. You did that. You did that for us. And everything in your creation reveals your character. It shows us how amazing you are, how inventive you are, how artistic you are. Knowing God helps me to see everything through different kinds of glasses, and that works for when I'm having a tough time as well. So let's just say you're a kid at school, which I know most of you are, and maybe you're feeling a bit left out, like you've got no one to play with. A regular person who doesn't know God might just be really struggling. If you know Jesus, He can help show you that time that you're having, that experience, might be a way that God's teaching you. It might be how you learn how to be a better friend, or how to be someone who looks out for people in the playground that are alone. might give you some empathy and kindness. You know, God always uses bad situations for his good. And when we know Jesus, we remember that more. You know, it's interesting because when we know God better and we see how he changes the way we think, it helps us to know who he is. And you know, that's when our faith gets strengthened, because we can start seeing some of the things that God does in real life. That helps us to believe in him even more. Guys, we're going to talk more about this in our Zoom call, and I can't wait to see all of your gorgeous faces. Make sure you go and get something to write with and a piece of paper, because our first game is going to need you to tell 2 truths and a lie. Let me tell you a bit more. So you're going to be thinking of 2 things that are true about you, and writing them down, or drawing them, or remembering them, and 1 thing about you that isn't true. And you've got to make it tricky, because I'm going to try to guess, and maybe some other kids will be guessing which one they know is not true. So start thinking about those facts about you and make sure you get something to write with. I look forward to seeing you all on Zoom. We're going to keep going with our Zoom calls up until the school holidays, where we'll take a bit of a break. So we've got this week and next week. You guys have been so great on Zoom, and I'm loving that we get to see each other. You know, it's been a really tricky time trying to figure out how to do church online with a screen. And you know, it's going to be a long time before we're back here like we used to be, all together in one big group. But I'm going to try and give you as much information and keep you updated on what our plans are. You know, Big Church will be going back at the end of June in a big group. Well, a small group. It'll only be 50 people to start with. So we're going to start seeing that church is opening up again and starting services. It's going to look different for the kids for a little while, but I hope that you'll enjoy the fun new things that we're going to try, because you know, it's always good to try new things, and we're here to give anything a go. If you have any good ideas for us, please tell me. Chat with me on Zoom, tell me in the chat. Otherwise, I think we might wrap it up. Get ready to go on Zoom, and get ready with your pens and papers and good ideas. I'll see you soon.